A new Empire magazine details more of Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon and how it's going to be a trilogy in what seems to be promoted as an R-rated Star Wars movie. But is it though? Let's get into it. Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon comes out this year, at least the first part of it, in which they are saying it's going to be a trilogy. Part 1 comes out this year, hopefully Part 2 comes out next year, and then eventually we'll get Part 3. Now, the initial idea of this Rebel Moon, way back then, was that it was going to be a Star Wars pitch. This was like when Lucasfilm sale just happened. His pitch was that he wasn't going to use any known characters. No Han Solo, no Luke Skywalker, that sort of thing. It was going to have to be R-rated. And he knew it was going to be a big ask, and as he got further into it, he knew it was not going to be the movie he wanted to make. And that's the kind of problem he's already had with DC. He's utilizing other people's IP, so that means he gets restricted to doing what he sometimes doesn't want to do because it's not his own IP. So now that he's over on Netflix, he's creating his own IP, he's got Army of the Dead universe, now he's making his Rebel Moon saga. And we've seen some clips already and small little teasers, no big trailers yet, I don't know why, but Rebel Moon is getting a lot more previews via Empire magazine. These are incredible shots of Rebel Moon. He's got a ton of characters in here, with warriors chosen to be his very own 7 samurai. Each of these characters and warriors do have their own backstory. So one of the characters that I'm really intrigued by is Nemesis, played by Babe Duna. And there you finally get to see her hot molten blades, and she looks absolutely awesome. But we also got this robot Jimmy, or James, and apparently he has his own arc, and what Zack Snyder says, it's going to be Arthurian, which is appropriate because he is being voiced by Sir Anthony Hopkins. Another intriguing character is Ray Fisher's character. He plays a character named Darien Bloodaxe, and Ray Fisher himself says he's modeling his character after Toshiro Mifune's own character Kikuchiyo in Seven Samurai, which is one of my favorite characters in Seven Samurai because he's not really a samurai. Kind of like that weird mountain man from 13 Assassin. The intriguing character adds to both movies. So here's hoping Darien Bloodaxe does the same thing. And in addition to human-type characters and alien robots, I kind of want to see the alien. And we're finally getting to see a little bit more of the alien creatures in here. And seeing a lot of these ship designs look pretty awesome. It looks really cool and really realistic. I mean, they did actually build the ships in some scenes. And with the added nugget that apparently the warp drive is powered by a trans-dimensional being. What does that mean? I don't know. He's also saying that Part 1 can be summed up as the recruitment movie. Then Part 2 apparently is going to be the war movie, like a Normandy invasion film, but with the first hour in France. And guess what? In Part 1 and Part 2, we haven't even seen the Rebel Moon, which is what the movie is titled, Rebel Moon. It's the planet they're on is not Rebel Moon. Apparently, in the proposed third film, audience will finally get to visit the Rebel Moon. The Rebel Moon is not the moon that they're on. The title was conceptual, but there's a planet named Vanna, or Vanna, is the Rebel Moon. It's not even in one shot of this movie. We're not going to get to see the actual Rebel Moon until Part 3. It's leading up to it, so we eventually have to get there. And yeah, it does kind of remind you a little bit of Star Wars once again, because everything revolves around Star Wars, and of course we can't help ourselves. Star Wars is a big part of our pop culture now, even Star Trek as well. But here's the thing, and this is my opinion only, I don't think Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon is going to be anywhere near as popular as Star Wars. I think Star Wars is a kind of an all-age friendly type of franchise. The Rebel Moon saga is going to definitely be an adult type of franchise. So to me, it's going to probably have a niche fan base, kind of like Battlestar Galactica or even Stargate. And even though these shots are absolutely cool, they are absolutely awesome, designs and everything look pretty cool, many in the general audience may still get turned off by this movie. And I think it's just going to be how the camera is presenting this movie. Already in a lot of shots and in the clips, it does look like Zack Snyder is going to use that almost the same type of dream lens that he's used in Army of the Dead and in some parts of Zack Snyder's Justice League, which honestly a lot of people didn't like. They didn't like that it was really blurry and focused really closely on certain things. And hopefully this movie can expand further and kind of get away from what people are calling like the generic sci-fi on Netflix. And there is a lot of different science fiction movies on Netflix that don't really go past a single movie. I mean, one of my favorite science fiction movies on Netflix is Space Sweeper. And that one, I really wish there was more of that universe. But all in all, it looks like this could be expanded into a gigantic franchise if done right. I am really excited to see what this looks like coming out this year. And if it goes well and if it's well received and people love it, there is a lot of opportunity to expand this into more projects like TV and animation, video games. You can definitely see maybe him creating this universe, other directors coming in, making their own projects from this universe. Yes, Star Wars style, but more adult oriented. Rebel Moon is scheduled to be released on December 22nd this year.